Hello everyone, Prime here, and today we're going to be talking about Loki and his children. In Norse mythology, there was a time when Loki was just sick of the gods' mockery. Yes, he had laid with a horse as a female horse. Yes, he had been shamed time and time again. But he was a god too, damn it. And the gods had no grounds to mock his greatness. He retreated onto a solo island. He met a giantess, Angerboda, and together they were the parents of Hel. Hel was followed by Fenrir, and Fenrir followed by the world serpent, Jormungandr. As soon as he was spawned into the world, Odin was alerted to Jormungandr's presence. Thanks to Loki's screams, the family was separated and punished in each of their separate ways. But what would have happened if Loki had not screamed so loudly? In our new timeline, Loki does not scream. For a time, he lives longer with his family. Loki grows to truly love his children, though his affections for Angerboda dwindle. She, after all, was the mother of these beasts, each more terrifying than the last. And whilst he did not alert the All-Father to his presence, he has no idea how he managed to contain his fear. The snake grows more powerful every day, as does the wolf, but he bides his time and waits, because ultimately he does love his family, and that love is stronger than his fear. Also, he tells himself. But Angerboda wishes for nothing more than to share her bedchambers with Loki. Night after night, she grows more restless, more weary, and eventually, one night, Loki becomes ever so drunk. That night was unimaginable to Loki, a blur, and the following morning, Angerboda was pregnant. Tempting Loki to flee the island with Hel, as Hel was his favorite child. Nevertheless, the trickster stays. A fourth child is born, a chameleon with the ability to shapeshift. For the most part, this chameleon maintains his human appearance. Let's call him Brokey. Brokey took after his father quite a lot in many aspects. He was fairly cunning and enjoyed a good prank where it was due. Angerboda didn't much like Brokey. At least not nearly as much as the other children, but loved him all the same. And Brokey was not nearly as monstrous as Fenrir or Jormungandr. In truth, Loki still had his fears and wits about him around those two. The continued growth of Fenrir and Jormungandr eventually led to food issues, and the island soon enough became more barren than you might expect. Loki feared that the Asgardians may one day in fact find his children, but he knew that the day would come eventually. Survival was fairly important. The family had to leave the island, though Jormungandr still remained in hiding. They hunted perhaps a bit too much. Fenrir just didn't know when to stop. He hunted deer, boars, and all manner of creatures. One of those creatures was one boar too far. Freya was gifted that boar, and now it resided inside of the beast's belly. Freya wasn't just going to forgive and forget about this, and attacked Fenrir. Ultimately ended up having to retreat, and Thor, wanting to test his battle might, decided to rush Fenrir as well. That fight also ended with Thor losing an ear, and Fenrir losing a claw. After this point, Odin could no longer ignore the existence of Loki's new family, and the events of the original timeline pretty much begin to play out as they would have. Hel is sent to Helheim, Fenrir is bound rather than being taken back to Asgard, Brokey, the chameleon, is instead taken back to Asgard, and Jormungandr is yet to be discovered, and so bides his time in the sea. Angerboda retreats for her life, and takes Loki with her to Frimheim. In this timeline, Loki doesn't have his own children with another Asgardian goddess. He's not bound in some cave whilst venom drips all over his forehead, meaning that he doesn't have additional bitterness for the gods, other than what they did to his family, being to separate them. This was unacceptable. He went to visit Hel in Helheim, but she had changed. No longer was she the sweet girl that he had raised, but she became darker, bitter, older. This was a slight too far for Loki. He could not, he would not accept this. Something had to be done. If the light of Loki's world were to be taken, then he would remove their light as well. Well, that was part 1 of the little fan theory that I've written up. If you want me to continue writing and maybe draw up a part 2, go ahead and leave a like. And of course, if you enjoyed and you're new to the channel, please subscribe for more content just like this. Where do you think I should go with the next parts of the story? Darker? A bit more light? Happy ending? Post your thoughts in the comment section below. But until the next video, have a very good day. I've been Prime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.